Hey, how's it going, Behind? Let me know if you can hear me okay. This is my first stream, so not sure if everything's working right. True, I'll turn that on. How's it going, Trees? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if my mic's working or not. Awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Really? Okay, let me try turning off one of these. Let me know if there's still an echo. How's the echo? Is this better? I actually ordered a different mic. It should be coming in tomorrow. Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, like I was saying, this is my first time streaming, so definitely let me know if you think a certain layout would be better, or if you have any feedback, let me know. Currently just trying to get some planes up in the air and also contribute a little bit more to the global event challenge. Got 58 jobs so far. These smaller events are a bit tougher for me to do since I have pretty much only class 3 planes. Shanghai. I'll just go to both. Yeah, I agree. It's been a really long time since they updated this game. Even just adding like 1 or 2 new planes would be great. Updating some of the cities. Anything really. But really, I usually play on iPad, so I'm not even sure what it looks like on my iPhone anymore. Let me take a look. Yeah, you're right. It does just could probably fill the screen a bit more for sure. Trues, are you working on the Concord event as well? I was just asking if you're working on the Concord event as well. How many jobs do you have done? Totally understand with the multitasking. That's all we do nowadays. All right, let me see if I can turn up the audio at all. I'm not sure. Either that or I'll just talk louder. Thanks for the feedback, by the way. Helps a lot. Yeah, I'm hoping the update kind of brings a lot more people back to the game. The events are pretty much the only thing that changes nowadays. For sure, custom planes would be awesome. That way you could kind of feel like you have your own unique plane, even if it's just, cosmetic even. But yeah, like being able to customize maybe even the passenger cargo ratio would be cool. That would kind of unlock a different aspect to the game. Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just kind of like a show and tell, be able to show off everything that you've unlocked, and that would definitely bring more people to the game, the people that like collecting items and whatnot. There's definitely a lot that can still be done with this game, I feel. That'd be pretty cool. Like being able to put a different engine into a different plane and just have it change the stats and whatnot. That'd be pretty crazy. That'd be like full customizability. Yeah, true. You're not playing against anyone really. It's not there's not any PvP aspects to it. You should just be able to kind of customize it to your heart's content. Totally agree. And then you could have people, trying to figure out the best, almost like min-maxing, a plane and trying to figure out what it's best used for. Different ways you can use different classes of planes. All right, this is what I got so far in the air. Let's just keep going. It's pretty good. Actually, let's switch it to Lagos since it has a Bucks job. When I first started the game, I actually thought you could go trans-Pacific, and so I bought Honolulu and then realized that you couldn't, and I was sorely disappointed. But I do understand why they do it because that would kind of mess up the the pricing of the flights, um, because they do it by distance. So at some point they would need to rework that formula to figure out, if you went this way over the Pacific, that would cost different than going from Honolulu, across the Atlantic all the way to Tokyo. Of course, that's right now the most lucrative flight that you can make. But of course, it'd be cheaper if you could go over the Pacific. It'd be faster. T First, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I'm doing or any questions you have in general. Just to give you an overview of what's going on right now, I have a few planes up in the air. Trying to get more. And then also get some jobs for the Concord flight. So I've already reached the 50 job threshold to get the part, but I figured I'd keep going just to contribute to Team Reddit. Yeah, I kind of understand. It might just be a port, but even so, it's still exciting that they're actually touching the game at all. If the port goes well and they get a lot of Android users, it might encourage them to keep working on the game and just throw us a few bones and, you know, give us a few things here and there. because they've been pretty active with like tiny towers and pocket trains, but those games aren't as interesting to me. Yeah, I'm keeping my expectations low. If they do end up adding, something to the game, it'd definitely be exciting. But just any movement nowadays is encouraging, especially since last year it was kind of a tease in their tweet that they would update it. But this year they're actually acknowledging it straight up that they're working on something. I know they're a pretty small team too, so they don't have that many developers working on things in general. Let's do New York here. Just missing a few. Exactly. They acknowledge us. It's like when you've been ignored for so long, it's just exciting that they just see us. Stay as long as you want, Truce. Glad to have you here. So right now I'm just refilling the layover flights in some of my cities. I use my Sequoias to do that, and then the other cloudliners and Sequoia cloudliners and just suddenly blanking on the name, cyclones to deliver the jobs. Looks like I should be leveling up to 92 pretty soon at some point. Let's see how far away I am. To run. Just do this. See if there's any Bucks jobs for this guy. There we go. So I basically just use my starships just to deliver Bucks jobs. That's the only way they're worth it. See if anybody wants to lay over a bit longer. There we go. You know, I haven't checked that document in a long time. Um, I don't know if they took off my name because I didn't update in a while, but I was on it at some point. I'll go check it at again sometime. I haven't played in probably a couple months, so I'm kind of getting back into things here. Yeah, I remember putting in my name probably about like a couple years ago, and that was the first time I realized that I was pretty high up in level. I didn't even realize that I was, that high before because that document pretty much is the only thing that you're able to see. Compare yourself to where other people are at. So I was kind of surprised. Take care, man. Have a good day at work. Thanks for stopping by. There's a lot of good bucks jobs there. All right. Hmm. Just gonna take that one bucks job because it's worth it. Let's go. Should I take the Beijing job? I think it's too far away from Jakarta to be worth it. It'd be all the way up there. Probably still worth it monetarily, but from an efficiency standpoint, not really. Ooh, bucks job, perfect. So we're grounded in Kolkata. Doesn't mean we can't load people up still. That was a good one for that Cloudliner. Leave another package. Oh no, that's all. Off to Shanghai. Oh, that's closed, so I'll have to go around it a bit. Okay, so this is specifically for layover jobs. Yep. So if you see me switching from all to people, it's just mainly because I already have the 2 out of 2 cargo filled up. So switching to the passengers just makes it quicker to scroll. down to see if I actually have any passengers to load for that city. And this should be able to make this directly across instead of going to Istanbul, which is great. So Rio has a buck job, still kind of far. Just gonna load up all the Cairo jobs. Leave those two there. Sorry guys. Alright, just to give you guys an overview, that's how many planes I have in the air right now. Good amount. Still got a lot on the ground though. Sometimes it's just a never-ending cycle when you have this many plane slots, which is good and bad. So Kinshasa, I'm just gonna load this one. We're gonna lose money on this flight, but we'll make it up when we turn in our bucks. Kolkata is still closed. Here's the Mexico City and Manila. I'll just go ahead and add the Manila flight on this one because it's close enough to Guangzhou. See which one has more profit, going that way or this way. This way. Yep, I like 500 bucks. Ready to go. So with a Starship, you're able to go from Jakarta to Rio straight without having to go to Kinshasa. Finding a buck job here. There we go. So we're flying straight to Seoul. So for these, I'm looking for a lot of passengers that aren't laid over just to help with the loading because you're trying to find 12 passengers to 5 cargo. So Jakarta wasn't bad. I had a good amount of passengers here on non-layover. So we'll just load them all up. And we have 6 passengers to go now. So these guys are being laid over in Chicago, and then I'll fill it back up and then go to either New York, LA, or Mexico City with this one. And then unload them there. So basically I look now to see which one has the least laid layover flights, which is Los Angeles. So I'll fly there and then unload them. So Tokyo is ready to unload. So now I have 57 out of 60 layovers, which is great. But now I will load this up. Ooh, Buck's job. I'll load this up and then go to Seoul or Beijing to unload. So Seoul needs a little bit more. So we'll go there. Manila, ready to unload. Now sometimes with these, they're not ready to. So Bangkok needs a few layover passengers, so I'll fill this up for Bangkok. Usually I like to pick one passenger and one cargo from the same city. I feel that keeps things even, but this one's not going to be that great because they're kind of all scattered. So we'll go to Bangkok and unload that guy. So with our cyclones, we're going to be delivering people. So immediately this Bucks job catches my eye, and we're ready to go. Lagos, unload. Let's see if Kinshasa, yep, Kinshasa needs a few more layovers, so we'll load this guy up. One of each. Fly to Kinshasa and unload when it lands. So that just makes it quicker for me to turn around these other planes when there's more layover jobs in a city. That is almost there. So sometimes there's layover jobs in here. I'll make them wait even longer to load unlayover jobs. So Chicago and LA, I'm just going to go and load up the LA people just because I want to get this Bucks job and it's pretty close to. And what I mentioned before, if there's any passengers that can still lay over, I'll leave them and then load the unlayover passengers on. And then we'll go. So we're losing money on this, but since we have these Bucks jobs on here, we'll make it up when we go to the bank and turn in our Bucks. Just totally missed that. We're doing Chicago. This guy's almost ready to go. So once Kolkata's back in business, we'll be ready to go with that. Leave that one guy there, and then fly. Sometimes I just totally miss It's one passenger away. Almost there. Still needs a good amount. So new jobs can actually just go back up. See if Paris needs any jobs. Yep, it does. Hey McD, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing great. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Just trying to get some planes in the air. This guy's ready to go. There's a lot of flights going through Lagos right now. Yeah, these are really busy hubs between South America and Asia. Got a good amount of birds in the air. Hey Cookies, how's it going? Chicago, Xi'an, Tokyo, almost there. One more. We just need one more passenger. Perfect. So we'll actually lay someone else over, boot them off the flight, and go to Paris. Shanghai. 6 more passengers here, and we got none. There we go. Let's see if there's any other passengers that we can leave behind. Thanks, Cookies. Yeah, the new update kind of brought me back. Was kind of discouraged after we saw nothing happen in 2020. But hopefully we'll see some movement here with Nimblebit getting back to work. Two passengers, none. Okay, this is for layover flights for Istanbul and Cairo. So we'll load this guy up and then see where he's needed. So Istanbul has 40, Cairo has 54, so we're gonna Istanbul to fill the layovers back up to 50. New York. This is slow going here. Every 5 minutes, just get one passenger. It's kind of painful. And this is for my Concord Bucks jobs. So we're scrolling all the way down. We only have 2. 1 minute left, so we're just gonna let it refresh and then we'll check again. Just to load more cargo. So this guy's ready to unload. Nothing else can lay over in the city, so we'll wait. Cookies, let me know if you have any questions about anything I'm doing, or if you want to see anything. Gonna unload these in Seoul, and then I think Tokyo still has a good amount to fill up. Hey Trues, welcome back. Hope your Zoom call went well. So when I get back to Tokyo, it's not going to be able to unload everyone, but I'm going to fly there anyways, just knowing that Tokyo does have a lot of flights that I end up sending there. Like this one will probably go to Tokyo. One more left. Yeah, I have to, again, this is my first time streaming ever, so I need to figure out how to do some background music for sure. I'll probably do it in the next stream. I was wondering, how much time do you think you have spent playing Pocket Planes? Well, I started when it first released, way back in, I think it was like 2012 or something. But it's, yeah, I've played a decent amount, on and off over the years. Basically, every time I've gotten a new iPad, I back it up to my Mac, and when I restore it, it saves my Pocket Planes game state. So I've definitely played a lot. Not gonna lie. But as you can see, I haven't played that much in a few months, but decided to get back. Pocket Planes is kind of one of those games where you can just watch TV and kind of play it on the side as well. So it doesn't take up all your attention all the time. So definitely gonna load the Bucks job. McD, yeah, I have. I kind of explained earlier, it's kind of tough for me to do the events that are in Class 1 cities because all my planes are basically Class 3. But I basically just put, one of my planes in the storage in the hangar, and then I load up this guy um, and just send him to do the jobs. But for the Class 3 events, I definitely go a lot harder. And I do have a video on, going for the #1 spot in one of the events. So you can watch that if you want to see kind of how I do Class 3 events. But these smaller ones, basically, I'm doing just enough to, get the part. So I already have 105 jobs, and it's 50 to get the part. But I figured I'd just keep doing it until the event is done, just to keep contributing. But Reddit is way ahead, so yeah. For this one, it's basically so I don't have to like put all my planes in a hangar just for this event, Because if I did, it would kind of just mess up the way I play. But for the big events, it's really fun because I can send all my planes. And like I remember the video I made was an event in Paris, and basically I just advertised in Paris and then sent all my planes there constantly. Shoes, you're full of good ideas, man. That'd be really cool. Different pilots had different stats, different boosts, so you could put them on certain flights. That's awesome, McD. Yeah, it's fun to kind of get back into it and get some planes that you were hoping for. Let me know if you need any parts. I'll see what I can do. All right. This Paris plane is just going to London to drop off these jobs. So that'll fill up the layover jobs to 54. That one got filled up pretty good. Only 3 passengers left to fill there. Freeze, that's cool, man. Keep grinding. You have plenty of levels ahead of you to get all the planes you want. Yeah, the Sequoia definitely is a great plane. Um, because it's a prop plane and not a jet plane, it takes a lot less fuel. It's a bit slower, but you'll basically end up getting more money once the job is done because it uses less fuel. Big D, which part was that? I wasn't playing during the last event actually. Just looking for Bucks jobs here. Perfect. So basically, I'm going to New York for those $7, even though I'm gonna be flying it at a loss of $3,000. Once we turn in the $7, it'll be worth it. Yeah, choose definitely. Whenever I watch any like sporting event or anything that's going on for a while, like a F1 event, I'll just casually play Pocket Planes as well. The Sea Knight is good, man. I actually like it. Let me see. So this is the Sea Knight is what I use for my Class 1 plane um, because it doesn't really, I mean, it moves relatively quickly and it loads 2 passenger, 3 cargo. So it's one of the more um, higher capacity level 1 planes. I will definitely think about making a Discord cookies. I just need to see that there's enough interest in it. Um, that's why I just kind of did this test stream just to see if it would work and if people would be interested in it. You never know. But you guys are pretty much the first people that have seen me stream, so congrats on that. Yeah, I haven't joined the Reddit in a while, or I haven't participated in the Reddit in a while. Um, I do foresee it kind of blowing back up once they do finish the Android port. I think it's going to draw a lot of new and old users back to the game. Yeah, I'll look into it, Trues, and I'll let you guys know um, first if I do end up firing up that Discord. Appreciate you guys stopping by, though. I wasn't sure if I'd be talking to anyone at all. So we're going to load up this Los Angeles flight for layovers for Mexico. or New York. We'll go to New York with this one. So we're losing money on this, but it's basically just for layovers. Big D, yeah, I mean, Tiny Towers is definitely their most money-making um, game, so I do see why they kind of, you know, try to change it to make it interesting. But I'd like them to just even just work on pocket planes just a little. You know, if we get some movement and development with pocket planes, I'm not going to complain. Um, Hopefully, they don't make it worse than it is now. Yeah, McD, I'm not exactly sure even what they did with Tiny Tower, but you can probably explain to Trees what they did. I used to play Tiny Tower as well, but haven't in a long time. I mean, I guess it's if they change it for the better, of course, it's great. But whether or not the community thinks so is different. But if they change the mechanics just to try to make more money, of course that's not cool. But everybody needs a paycheck somehow. Yeah, I do remember they like gave you an option to buy like a elevator that would just auto deliver people to the right floor. That was kind of weird. But again, that was probably one of the most annoying parts of Tiny Tower once you got a pretty tall tower is delivering them to the 160th floor. So we're going to add Tokyo here. Yeah, now that I think about it, they did have stats for citizens in a Tiny Tower that they could also add to pilots or kind of like Trues you were mentioning earlier. That'd be cool. Because I remember kind of the end game of Tiny Tower was just trying to find citizens that had like the 999 stat or the best stat for that particular retail workspace or whatever. Commissioned as in like a private flight or something like that. Like even daily challenges would be great. Like just something to make you open the game on a daily basis. There's just it's endless. the things that they can expand on this game with. A lot of room for growth. Hey, Stickman, how's it going? I need to remember just to show the map every now and then, because you guys are just watching me load planes 24/7. Yeah, true. I could see that being really cool. At the same time, I could also see it being OP possibly, or game breaking if someone found some combo that made it really easy to level up or get bucks. Don't need that. Nice, McD. Yeah, it's a struggle when the event is not in your area. Yeah, the meta definitely could use some updating. I wouldn't mind having something to work toward long term. You're looking for a free Concord, McD? I've played this game for a while, and I still probably only have 3 or 4 Concords. That's why for this event, I'm really hoping for a Concord engine, but probably won't happen. Looking for Bugs shops here. Here we go. Yeah, it's a grind, McD. It is a grind because you never know when the Concord events are going to pop up. And then there's no guarantee that you won't get 5 of the same parts in a row. So trading on Reddit, of course, is a good alternative. Trading parts, that is. For sure. I'm trying to remember way back in the day when we first were playing this game, how we traded parts. I don't think it was Reddit. I think it was something else. Istanbul is the play. See if there's any Bucks jobs in Bangkok. Yep, perfect. and we can fly straight there. Love it. What would you recommend as a support plane for setup for level 18? I'm using Kangaroo and M's, but is there a better option? Kangaroos are actually really good. That's kind of what I used in the past as well. Let me take a look real quick. I really like the planes that have an equal number of cargo to passenger ratio. So that's why I really liked the Kangaroo for support. I've also used a Birchcraft in the past, but of course that's a class 2 plane, so you need to keep that in mind. But the Kangaroo is great because it's a class 1 and can go pretty much anywhere that you need. Once you do level up a bit, I remember using the Arrow Eagle as a support plane for a while. Once you level up to having some Fogbusters and Tetras and whatnot. So Arrow Eagle for later game, Kangaroo for early game, I would say. I think you're pretty much on the right track. Yeah, I used to always use Arrow Eagles for support, but then I realized that I could get rid of my class 2 cities and just go straight Sequoia with support planes. So I used to have Moscow open and then fly like an Arrow Eagle in between St. Petersburg and Moscow just to do layover jobs. But I kind of had an epiphany and basically just started clustering class 3 cities with a Sequoia in between to deliver jobs. And I kind of redid my whole map after that because I used to have a few class 2 cities for support, but no longer. So you have 276K. Should you buy a 13th slot for 174 or use that money for airports? So I'm not sure which airports you have unlocked, but for more profit, I would do an unlock of an airport that is further away from your main hub. Because let's say you started out in Asia and you're doing jobs in between here, you can start getting a lot more money if you expand distance-wise where your main base is from. So if you start buying like Cairo to expand the distance, that would mean passengers and cargo that are going to Cairo would give you more profit once you flew that route. So it depends. I'm not exactly sure what your fleet looks like right now, but I would almost think expanding the distance between airports would be helpful just to start making more money. Once you get more money, you can, obviously buy more planes. Hope that made sense, Trues. But yeah, it's always a balance between trying to expand your airports so you can make more money on the distance traveled on all your flights versus, buying more airplanes. Yeah, airport upgrades increase the capacity for layovers mainly. So you don't need to look into that just yet. Um, I would focus on your planes and buying more. Um, I believe there also is more jobs too once you upgrade an airport. Um, I only say that kind of questioningly, like because I haven't upgraded an airport in a long time. I've pretty much maxed out mine, the ones that I need, that is. So let's see what happens here. Airport upgrade. Add more jobs and layovers. Yeah, so it's jobs and layovers. So having more jobs, of course, is nice because that means your planes are on the ground for uh, less time because you'll have more options for loading jobs. If that makes sense. Um, so every time your plane is on the ground is not making money, if you think of it that way. Um, so having more jobs at an airport will help you um, get a plane back in the air faster. So the turnaround is really what you want as far as speed. That's why I have a lot of layovers too. Tokyo, Shanghai, Delhi, Tehran, Istanbul, London, Lagos, Sao Paulo, Lima, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. Okay, so you're pretty much spread across the map already, which is great. So you may want to actually start looking into the plane instead of a extra airport. So at this point, when you're buying airports, you're basically trying to fill in flight paths so that you get the straightest flights because a straight flight, of course, costs us money. Yeah, 3 or 4 cycles. That it may be good for you at this point in your game to go ahead and upgrade airports then, um, and also start thinking about um, layovers and support planes. That way you can have them on the ground for less cycles. And again, it all depends on how you play the game too. If you're playing it casually, you don't really need um, upgraded airports and whatnot because you're just kind of casually playing. But if you're looking to get all of your airplanes in the air all the time, making the most money, then yeah, layovers and jobs are definitely important. Ooh, Seoul. We're gonna do that. Tokyo and Seoul. All right, Beijing. So basically, I switched that so it was a straighter flight. Um, Initially, I did Tehran to Beijing, but that'll lose more money than a straight flight through Istanbul. So, true, that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier too. Finding flight paths that are straight. So you may want to unlock certain cities that allow you to do that. Support planes are better if they are not jets, so prop planes basically, because jets will lose you even more money. Your support planes are going to lose you money no matter what because you're just using them for layovers. But if you see here, I'm loading this guy up. I don't necessarily need them to be super fast. I just need them to lose less money. So I'm flying it here as a support plane to Lagos for um, minus $500 basically. I'm losing $500 on this flight, um, which is fine. If I use a fog buster, like a jet, I'd probably lose like 1,500 on this flight, on this same flight. So that's why I use these prop planes because they're slower, but they use a lot less fuel. So McD, I would still, are you talking about super early game? Because I would still say the Kangaroo is the best early game support plane if you do want to start putting layovers down. So at level 22, so for you, Trues, right now it might be good to, um, like I was mentioning to McD, um, support planes at your level it may be more like a Kangaroo or a Arrow Eagle. I know Arrow Eagle is a jet, but um, has 3 and 3 basically. Um, or even a Sea Knight would be a good support plane for that. Because it's a prop plane, it would lose less money. But the thing I don't like about the Sea Knight is it doesn't have equal amounts of passengers and cargo, um, which over a long period of time you're gonna have to. If you use the Sea Knight as a support plane, you would have more cargo laid over than passengers, if that makes sense. Like with the Arrow Eagle has 3 and 3, Arrow Eagle M, so um, you would have even amounts. But yeah, McD, going back to what you said, I think a Kangaroo is good for like level 15 to 20, 23 or so. If you're talking about super early game, I don't think you even need support planes when you're talking about really early game. You're just trying to make money on every single flight. I don't think you really need to start thinking about support planes until like level 20. What up, Dima? Yes, I am alive. Alive and well. How about you? So, Trees, you're trying to get rid of your pair jets and then replace them with, I guess, what is the question? Like mid game, I really like the Arrow Eagle, not even as a support plane, but just as a plane to deliver jobs. Yeah, the logical, like the next step is to replace them with Arrow Eagles, Trees. But if you don't want to, if you want to kind of leapfrog a cycle, you could replace them with Fog Busters later once you unlock them. Um, yeah. Yeah, MACD fogbusters are definitely a good option at that level. Yeah, I really like Arrow Eagles for mid game. They have good range and they're pretty fast. And then you can turn them into support planes later on in the game. So MACD, my thinking is that there's always a certain number of even amounts of passenger and cargo. And when you kind of pigeonhole yourself into getting just a plane with just passengers or just cargo, I feel like you're limiting yourself per cycle to the amount of passengers and cargo you can load. So I always feel like an M plane can load faster than a P or C plane. I haven't really tried it like anecdotally, or I don't know if it's even true, but just in my mind, that's why I always do M planes. Do Arrow Eagles or Fogbusters make more money? Let me see. Oops, not what we want. So I don't have any right now, so I can't really see. Um, I'm thinking Arrow Eagles might technically make more money per passengers because I think the Fogbuster may use more fuel, but I'm not 100% sure. The other thing you need to think about when you're upgrading your planes is whether or not you're trying to spec them for making the most amount of money, or if you're just trying to get them done with the job the fastest. So a lot of times I won't upgrade engine speed on planes because once you upgrade engine speed, it costs more money to fly them because it'll take more fuel because they go faster. Um, so a lot of times I won't upgrade engine speed just to maximize profit on a flight, if that makes sense. I totally forgot where I was going with this. Sao Paulo. So I could show you my logs for my current planes, but since I haven't flown an Arrow Eagle or Fogbuster in a while, I don't think I would have a good profit per hour stat for you choose for that. So the I've flown these guys the longest, but you'll see the Cloudliners, of course, have the best profit per hour. Yeah, that makes sense. The Fogbuster making more on average. So you can see the Concorde actually doesn't make much profit per hour, but it's just a fun plane to fly with. You can see my support planes just go negative, a lot of them, which is totally fine. This one's good. Oh wait, there we go. So this is going to be interesting. If I load up this London job, I'm basically going to be waiting a few more cycles for 5 passengers, but it's still worth it for those $5. Maintenance would definitely add a different layer to the game, but I kind of feel like, I don't know if you ever played Diablo back in the day, but having to repair your weapons and your armor kind of just felt like tedious. Yeah, I could see that, like it would go down to a certain efficiency if it wasn't maintained, but it would still work fine. Like it would never really break per se, but it would just be more efficient if you, whoa, sorry, a lot of bucks drops there. Just gonna switch this over. Okay. Yeah, adding features like those truths would definitely be more interesting for the hardcore players. Um, but kind of the casual players, I think they might be annoyed at that type of stuff. Yeah, I think game developers nowadays are kind of more clued in on that because they know that if they annoy the player too much with things like that, they're gonna lose them. They kind of want to keep the game light and fun, but at the same time, there's a certain group of people that love that type of stuff too. So it's a give and take. Uh-oh, Jakarta is shut down, which means, oh boy, my C Knight is gonna get stuck in Jakarta. Can't deliver any Concord event jobs for 20 or 30 minutes. 27 minutes. See, even something like that, like it's definitely it makes the game interesting when you have like shutdowns like this. But at the same time, they can be really annoying if you have a bunch of planes stuck in a certain city for 27 minutes. Kind of makes you stop playing the game. Istanbul. All right, let's see where we're at. Not as many planes in the air now. A lot of them initially sent off have landed, so it's a vicious cycle. Yeah, I got a few things stuck in Jakarta now. So let's see if we can keep anyone here. There we go. Yeah, I think I think Pocket Planes is a more kind of light-hearted, fun game than a hardcore. I mean, I've kind of made it a hardcore game in the way I play it, which is fun for me. But at the same time, I think the target demographic is kind of like the casual gamer that comes in and out and just likes to have a fun time playing it. Gonna do that, Mexico City and Chicago. Games that can kind of straddle both worlds are some of the best games that have kind of something for everyone, but at the same time, you don't want to make it too intimidating to start out. All right, New York. So this has another city here, yeah, New York and LA. He's gonna definitely lose some money, but it's okay. We're delivering Puck's job, so that's fine. We can stop by Cairo on the way to Paris. It's not a horrible stop. Let's do it. Still make 299 bucks. Probably going to finish up this stream here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Just wanted to do this as a test just to make sure everything was working and also to see if you guys actually enjoyed it. Truce, thanks for the feedback. I probably will add some music next time I stream and try to maybe open up that Discord channel. We'll see. Perfect. Thanks, McD. Glad you enjoyed it. I'll definitely do this again. Hope you stop by next time. Thanks, Trues. Really appreciate you guys with the feedback and just chatting with me. It helped a lot trying to figure this all out. So hopefully next stream is even better. But thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it.